What's going on? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Byte for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. Apple's latest earnings were announced this week, and we'll get to that. But let's start off with, you guessed it, the latest iPhone rumors. Evan Blass has been active on his EvLeaks Twitter account and says the next iPhone's retail release will be Friday, September the 16th, just a week and a half earlier than last year's 6S release. He then followed that up with a confirmation that pre-orders will take place on Friday, September the 9th. Now, typically, an iPhone announcement happens the same week as pre-orders, and with Monday, September the 5th being Labor Day, we're looking at Tuesday, September the 6th as the next Apple keynote. We're still not expecting much of a significant design change, except for the loss of a headphone jack and the removal of antenna lines. You can even take a sneak peek from Vietnamese website Tinte with what's believed to be the first look at the lightning to headphone jack dongle. And it looks exactly what we'd expect it to look like. But you all know, the 10th anniversary iPhone is really the one to get. Now, everyone keeps on referring to this year's iPhone as the iPhone 7, but maybe not anymore. Website applepage.de reports that Apple has already produced packaging with the iPhone 6 SE name on them, but there's been no photo evidence to support it yet. But really, the iPhone 6 SE or the iPhone 6C? Oh wait, the iPhone 6E. No. The iPhone 6A.
Oh la la.
See, that's genius. If that's what they call it, I'm buying one for sure. The iPhone 6A. All right, Apple announced they sold their 1 billionth iPhone this week. 1 billion, 9 years in, that's just straight up impressive. Compare that to McDonald's, who opened their first restaurant in 1940 and sold their 1 billionth burger 23 years later in 1963. Thanks, Wikipedia. Now, congrats to Apple, but it's not all that great after Apple reported their earnings for the third fiscal quarter, or second calendar quarter of 2016. It was better than analysts expected, but it still wasn't that pretty. Overall revenue dropped 15% to $42.4 billion from $49.6 billion in last year's quarter. Across the board, iPhones were dropped to 40.4 million compared to 47.5. Mac sales were down 4.25 million from 4.8. And iPad sales keep declining from 9.95 compared to 10.9 last year. But, you know me, I still love my iPad Pro. Now, Tim Cook said he's very optimistic about iPhone sales this fall, and part of that is just based on the massive install base that continues to grow. And he's probably right, but one thing he can't deny, the latest IDC research data revealed Samsung has shipped nearly twice as many smartphones as Apple this quarter, with 77 million units compared to Apple's 40.4. Samsung was also the most popular smartphone in the quarter with a 22.4% market share, nearly doubling Apple's 11.8%. That's just a beatdown. Now, the latest iPhone 10th anniversary rumor comes to us from DigiTimes, claiming Apple is working on an iPhone with iris scanning capabilities and could debut in 2018. Say what? That's 2 years after Samsung is expected to release the Note 7 with iris scanning tech next week. So basically, Apple's giving us OLED screens 2+ years later and is working on iris scanning 2 years later as well. I know Apple's not always the first to market, but 2 years later with 2 different signature tech features, I am sorry. That's a bad Apple. That one really hurt. Now, Apple's plans for their electric car called Project Titan hasn't gone as smoothly as they had hoped for, and in a move to save the fledgling project, Cupertino has brought former Senior Vice President of Hardware Engineering Bob Mansfield out of retirement to oversee the development of the car, according to the Wall Street Journal. Mansfield has remained with the company as a special projects advisor, but during his time at Apple, he was responsible for leading the hardware teams behind the MacBook Air, the new iMac, and the iPad. Now, a separate report from The Information reports the target introduction for the Apple car has now been moved out a year to 2021. All right, let's do an Apple Byte giveaway. My friends from Canoe have a lot of cool products, but check out their latest product, the AirView. Now, the AirView's curve mount can attach to the neck of a car seat, it can rotate, and supports most phones and tablets even as large as the iPad Pro, and you know I love that. So it's perfect for a road trip and can even act as a stand on a table. So I'm giving 3 of these away to you all, and all you have to do is tell me what was my pickup line from last week's show. Simple enough, and we'll announce the winners next week. All right, that's going to do it for this show. You can always email us at theapplebite@cnet.com or tweet me at Brian Tong. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you all next time for another Bite of the Apple.